Well, it is a beautiful early morning here in South Georgia, but for the last month, this is about the time I'm normally going to bed, pretty much working midnight shift. It's post-deer season, trapping hogs all night, and then, sleeping during the day. We've got one group currently that we're trying to lock down. We actually think it's social issues. We don't think they're trap shy. We think it's social issues now. And they're actually in the trap right now. And we've got a camera that we're testing called an anywhere cam. It's got a little swivel head on it. And I was actually able to swivel around and look. And, I can see hogs outside the trap, which I knew our number is supposed to be 23, but we just keep locking up at 20. But I can see some with the Yager Pro Live video outside the system. It is the drop trap, which is the largest drop trap in the world. But all that being said, I'm on my way to Arkansas. I am running solo. I do believe I've got plenty of helpers and angels and people looking out for our backside. But I am running solo. I got an empty seats all the way around, filled with junk. My landowner and friend up there says it's muddy. His idea of muddy is not like the normal human being side of muddy. So it must be super muddy. Because when he says it's muddy, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I mean, we need like military vehicles to get in on the property. But he's taking his side-by-side down there and going to leave it for us this morning. And anyway, so it's going to be a long day. Horrible sleep transition. If you've ever worked midnight, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Where you're used to going to bed, now you're up. Tried to sleep last night, couldn't sleep. It is what it is. So we'll be listening to a lot of good music today. Maybe catch up on some phone calls, and we're just going to keep it in the wind all day. We've got a good early start, and once we get locked up there in Arkansas, actually we got to buzz up to Missouri and work on some of our nonprofit project up there, and just on the ground for a couple days and shoot straight back. So anyway, that being said, if something great happens, we're going to keep you posted. If not, see you in Arkansas. All right, 10 hours later, and we are on property here in Arkansas. Long day. Got caught up on a lot of phone calls and listened to a lot of music. When we travel, it's just gas and go. No, it's unhealthy. You should get out and stretch and walk around a little bit, but we just gas and go. And anyway, so far it doesn't look super muddy, but if the landowner / friend is telling us that it's muddy, it's going to be muddy. I mean, all the water, all the crop fields got water in them, all the ditches got water in them. It looks muddy. But the road we're on right now is not too bad. The good part is it's 3 o'clock Central Time. So, a lot of times we come in here, we're pushing it right up to the envelope of darkness. So it'll be nice today that, it won't be so dark on us, and we'll be able to get in and out of here before it gets dark. Temperature's about 55, so I already had to put a sweatshirt on. Another 5 degrees, I'm going to start getting cranky. We'll try to give you some footage. There's an eagle's nest down here. We were here last month. We didn't see any, but they're around here somewhere. And definitely if we get into some mud. So that being said, hang on. All right, so we got an eagle. Yeah, the nest is not hard to, you can't miss the nest. It's huge, but he's right up, or he or she, I don't know, is right up here in front of us. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna stop right here, spin around, zoom in, and then I'm gonna cross a little bridge and see if I can't get closer. All right, so you see the nest, and then you see the eagle up on the very top. So we're gonna go across this little bridge here and try to get it from the other side. All right, we crossed the bridge. There you go. Hey, fella. Clearly he's used to being photographed. Hey, fella. Check that out. So we're here at the trap. Actually, it wasn't that muddy. So maybe our landowner and friend has finally started to, like, I don't know, Webster. Is there still a Webster dictionary? Google? I don't know. It's not that muddy. It wasn't that bad. And he doesn't watch the videos, so I got nothing to worry about. Basic trap maintenance here. We're going to jump on the feeder first. We've already done the feeder. You always want to go after the feeder first. And we've done videos here in Arkansas before where we've had some issues with some moisture in the feeder. Jump on the feeder first because you always want to try to dry it out. Feeder was great. A lot of coon issues here, so we got a lot of coon protection. Then jump on the mine texting camera, then we jump on the gate, and then we jump on the ice camera. That's our standard procedure. You want to go through a checklist. So you make sure 700 miles from the house, you want to make sure that you use every component. Absolutely phenomenally beautiful day here in Arkansas. It's so still. We are in the middle of 700 acres. No one in sight, no human beings except the eagle. Super cool. So I'm going to buzz you over here to the control box. We've done something a little bit different. May not be authorized, but we try to change things up. And so I would not suggest this unless, you know, say your control box is out of warranty. This control box is way out of warranty. And I'm not saying there would be an issue with that, but we're changing the battery. So hang on, I'm going to buzz you over there. So originally, most control boxes came with a 7.5 amp hour battery. And if you're wondering where that's at, it's generally on the label. Okay, so you're looking for 12 volt. This one is a 9 amp hour, but they were 7.5, which is less. And then some of the control boxes had an 8 amp hour battery. We at Hog Cutter Strapping Company decided to go with a 9 amp hour battery. Why? We want more time in the box. So all of our boxes run 9 amp hour batteries. What changes is the blades. Okay, so these blades will get a little bit wider. Not a big deal. You just got to change the connectors out. I do believe that all Jaeger Pros now come with a 9 amp hour battery. The battery's more expensive, but you get more time out of it. We're not a huge fan of solar. We're not against solar. We're just not big. We believe that you need to be looking inside these control boxes for ants, all kinds of junk. Now, totally experimental project here in Arkansas is we are changing the game a little bit, and we are going to this guy, much bigger. So it is a 12 volt, 10.5 amp hour, 10.5 amp hour. So I'm going to give you a little comparison of what they look like side by side. So you can see that it is a much bigger battery. It's not any wider, it's just taller. Kind of see the difference? So here's the 10 amp hour, 10.5 amp hour. Here's the 9 amp hour. Now, in order to make this work, we had to change the leads, what I'm going to call the leads. And we just made longer ones because they're going to have to go kind of behind it. It is a little bit of a tight fit, but it's going to buy us more time here. We are a week behind on maintenance here. So maintenance was due on the 5th. Today is the 12th. It is what it is. And sometimes we'll call the landowner and say, hey, run down there, swap out the gate battery. But this time, the trap is really dead. We just got some deer and coons going in it, haven't had any hogs in several months. So I'm going to walk you through installing this 10.5 amp hour battery, which is something that you could do. Not a cheap battery by any means, but it will fit in the control box. Now, the reason I said if you're within warranty is that it does touch up against the RF receiver. And so that may be an issue if the RF receiver was to get damaged. It could be like, well, you had a battery in there that was too big. We're out of warranty. Don't care. If we break it, we break it. It is what it is. We want to buy a little bit more time. So it's another 1.5 amp hour. Calculations, it might actually buy us another week. So instead of 30 days, we might be able to get 37 days, maybe, give or take. So let me get it in there and I'll kind of show you what we're looking at. One thing I do want to add, it's very important, we see it time and time again, that this will not be in there. That protects your actuator. See how it's kind of worn a little bit? So you put it in there, and your battery goes in here. You have Velcro here, okay, so that's the rough Velcro. And then underneath here, if you end up replacing batteries, just put some soft Velcro. Why all this? Because when they're hitting this gate, it keeps this from bouncing around in there. All right, so as you can see, it's taller, and it is right up against that, but it's in the Velcro. We've got the pad back here for the actuator, and then you've got your wires right here. I cut them extra long, but we're good to go. So we're gonna give it a shot here. We're gonna go ahead and do a test gate, just test the gate. You always wanna test your gate when you're out here working to make sure the gate will fire and work. We already hit that battery with the ohm meter. We got plenty of power, so hang on. All right, so we hit the drop gate command. About 7 to 10 seconds normally. Should see the actuator pull. Shows we're all hooked up, systems a go. And there we go. So right on time, battery's working just fine. Like I said, it's a tight fit, but it should buy us more time. So that's a simple way just to add a little bit extra life to the control box. You keep the battery inside the control box, not like running wires and doing it outside. It is a little bit of a tight fit, but not super tight. We're not going to do that for the rest of our 22 systems. But here in Arkansas, it's nice just to stretch it out a little bit further. A lot of issues here with squirrels, coons, and if you just don't know that, squirrels and coons will mess with any wire, anything. We've been really fortunate, I'm not going to say it out loud, with our camera here. But you'll see a lot of our camera systems we're running ammo cans, flex conduit, just due to squirrels, coons. They're just aggravating little critters. So we're gonna buzz back, maybe give you a little footage, and we're gonna get on the road, man. This has been just really good, great weather, but you can tell it's getting colder. So we're not trapping any hogs, but we're just making sure we got a system up and running if hogs come through, because they are a migratory little beast. Hang on. Coming off the property and pulled back here in the field, and there was one eagle up there in the nest, or kind of like above the nest, and the other one flew in. And so I'm going to zoom in. They haven't flown off. I feel bad. I feel like I'm interrupting, like, private time or something, like it's supper time and I'm uninvited guest, and they're like going, what the hell, dude, we're just a bunch of birds. But yeah, let me zoom in on that. Hold on. All right, so the one just flew off. But that's the one that just came in the nest. Check that junk out. Hey, fella. I think it was feeding something. Absolutely beautiful evening here in Arkansas. Looks like Africa right now if you look across this field. Sorry about that. Let's zoom out here and show you Africa. Check it out. Oh, there he goes. Hi, fella. Hi, buddy. Land on that limb. Oh, yeah, good junk. Hi, buddy. He's going in for the landing. Oh, come on. Oh, that's the junk. That's why you drive 700 miles on 3.5 hours sleep. You hear it? It's probably saying, could you trap some hogs and leave them here for me? I need a snack. Keeps making that noise. Hey, where'd your buddy go? So absolutely way to end the video, in my opinion. Really cool property here in Arkansas. Feel very blessed to be here. It's a long drive, but really neat. You know, didn't see a person. That's a perfect day, in my opinion. And just the scenery. And it is the bloodiest, muddiest place on earth, in my opinion. But it is really neat, and it's like that was the highlight. I kept thinking all day, like, I got to get there early so I can check out the eagles. Because last month when we were here, we came in right at dark, and they were already probably bedded down. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the video. I got to head north. I do have 4 big bags of salad in my cooler, but there's a place a little bit out of the way. It's I think it's a sushi place that has a seaweed salad, and it is the junk, man. And so I'm gonna call them up and get a double order and living the high life. So y'all have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you truly enjoyed the eagles, and spread the love, not the hate. All right, I swear this is the end of the video, but if you're ever in Searcy, Arkansas, you need to go to this place right here. Get you some squid, seafood salad. Almost as good as the big ass salad I eat every night. We headed to Missouri. Hopefully you enjoyed the video.